Happy Monday! Last Monday of my competition. I'm kind of excited about that. But even after the competition, my lives won't stop. I have to work out regardless of whether I'm in a competition or not. Competition has just been helping my motivation levels for the last 8 weeks, so it's so far been working. But I'm noticing I'm getting to a point in my progress where I start falling into good enough mentality. If you've ever heard of this, good enough mentality, don't get me wrong, in some instances this is a great mentality because yes, we are all good enough. However, when you're focusing towards a particular goal and you're making progress, myself personally, hopefully somebody out there has experienced this too, fall into good enough mentality, which is, oh, I've only got a few more days left. I've already put in 7 weeks. I've done good enough. Oh no, there's still time to be putting in. So I have to follow through. And that is one of my biggest goals with this competition, is following through. Good morning. Thank you guys so much. Hi, honey bunny. Oh, my baby Maddie is here. Hi, baby. I see your message. Oh, I hope you have a great day at school. Kick some butt. So yeah, I'm really trying to prevent good enough mentality and actually sabotaging my own progress by stopping the momentum. So this playlist today is going to be total body, but as you know, if you've been following along, I love to stay with single areas at a time. Sometimes, depending on the sequence, if it's not very extensive, I'll do core plus lower legs, or I'll do core plus upper body. Hence the name Polykinetics, many movements. But because these are still quite simplistic and very very simplistic, I don't even want to say the word easy because it's not easy, but simplistic, it keeps the risk of injury down to a minimal, as well as optimally building up the body and burning fat, building muscle, all that kind of good stuff, as well as balance, coordination, agility, flexibility, you name it, all encompassing fun stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to hit this. This whole workout is 21 minutes and 48 seconds. So starting with my core. Ooh, not yet. Not yet. See, I'm wanting to get started too early. I get excited. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Body's like, hold your roll. Because the goal is to make it all the way through to the end of the song. And if I drain my energy, I'm not doing that. 2, 1, 2. These are 2 count leg lifts. Knee raises, however you want to call them. So the more fatigued my legs become, the more my core becomes engaged to back up my fatiguing leg muscles. So, a little warm up, all right. Notice I'm laying leg warmers. With weight loss comes your inability to keep yourself really, really warm. So, yeah, I'm getting cold more frequently. Small downside. Woo! So if you are following along, understand these are more demonstrational, and for my benefit, they are critiqued to challenge my abilities. Where I am weaker, flexibility and training. Woo! My endurance always. Woo! And coordination has a lot more benefits than just being able to dance. Feel free, look it up. Rhythmic coordination and brain functioning. Have fun. So, woo. Now, this becomes too intense at a double. I'll instantly change it up to single alternating. Woo! Burns! Hard to talk when it burns. It's like all you can think about is just burning sensation. My cool down. Changing my intensity. 1, 2. So I'm still bouncing my leg, which is this phenomenon when you do this. Yeah, well, do you guys notice you do that? So that's you building strength. Keep doing that, but the goal is not to bounce. You should be able to hold it and not move. Hold it and not move. So you're bouncing, you still have growth to go. That's okay, I catch myself all the time doing it. Gotta love it. So, tricep presses, 5-pound weight overhead. 4 count, maybe a 2 count if I'm feeling cute. Here we go. 1, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. The sharper my movements are, the more control I have over not just the weight, but my actions. So that's what I'm trying to get to, is stability. Sharpness. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Woo! Oh, this is an absolute piranha of an exercise. And then when you put it to music, called sequences. Woo! Woo! So this isn't more so to bulk, this is more to sculpt, to tone. If you want to bulk, use heavier weights. Go more towards sets and reps. That's what it's designed for. Polykinetics, tension over time, is designed to sculpt and infuse cardio. Woo! Break time. To infuse cardio and muscular endurance at the same time. Normally those are 2 different workouts, but now here they're together. Woo! So no more having to count sets and reps. When I am working towards my peak performance, I cannot count. That part of my brain shuts down. But I can hear the beat of any song, even if I don't like the song. Tension over time, oh my gosh. First 30 to 45 seconds are easy. Even I would say 60 seconds if you're really nice and advanced, you have a solid platform. Still gonna hit you. I've done this to bodybuilders. I've done this with people who are a couple 100 pounds overweight. It hit them both. It just hit them a little differently. Just keep that beat. No sequences to remember. Just listen to that beat. So. Woo! See, I adjusted how I was holding on my weight. Make those small adjustments. But they should be very small. Woo! Oh, thank God. Thank you to all. That is good. I love the end of the song. Got me pretty good. All right, core time. Yay. Everybody loves the core. So much fun. Upper body. It counts. So this is not a big movement. I'm only moving, I don't know, maybe feels like an inch, inch and a half, 2. Not even that. Little movements. Woo! Doesn't take long. 40 seconds in, I can feel it burning right here. You should not feel any pain in your back whatsoever. You should feel burning in your core, maybe a little bit of cardiorespiratory in your chest, maybe a little bit in your shoulders and your back. This is why there's no twerking in Polykinetics. Break. When you twerk, you sacrifice your back. Let's not do that. Ooh, excuse me. Still getting over the cold, but I'm decongesting. Woo! 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo! Get my butt on beat. Back to an 8 count. A little side to side. Leaning forward. So I don't do this for more than, I think the longest I've ever done it was 6 minutes. I say build up to 6 minutes, start at 60, because you're getting a 15-second burn there, and then go up 1 minute each, or even 30 seconds. Do it every single day for 7 days, at least 30 minutes. More if you're looking for more drastic results, or if you physically can. Woo! All core almost. Got a little bit from an upper body, a little bit from the lower, but most of this is core. Woo, thank goodness. I'm still sore. Woo. Okay, this song. 3 minutes, 19 seconds. So, side to side leg lift, down into a squat. But let me get on a tempo speed. Here we go. This forces me to focus big time. So I impulsively go faster than I have to. A lot of core in this one. Down, 2, up, 2, up, down. Same sequence. Woo. So the longer I go, the more fatigued I'm going to get. Part of this is going to be. Not super crazy about the song, but my balance and my flexibility are my primaries next to cardio and strengthening. And I'm not worried about depth on my squats right now. Just that I'm feeling it in my butt. Woo. and not to fall. So balance is my number one. No point in having big bulgy muscles. You can't control them. See? And then I get tripped up with like, how did I screw up on something so simple? Because that's just how it goes. Woo! But I know with each and every single mistake, I'm training my brain to make less and less and less of those over time. And it works. Stick with it. Woo! Breathing in nice and deep. So as I work on my balance, I don't want to overwhelm my brain or overwhelm my cardio. So nice and collected, right? Done. So each sequence is specified to a goal or an area I want to work on. Whew. Many of them I do try to put in an area, if they're long enough, upper body, lower body, and core, like this one, or finale, has multiple movements in it. But when it comes to building, single movement sequences are some of the safest. Arms out. You want to be a little cute, circles. Sometimes just holding it is hard enough. 1, 2. It's never too late to change your love. Flutters. So don't let them steal your life. Don't let them break your stride. So my primary is my arms, my secondary is my core. Both are needed to make this motion possible. It's gonna suck. Wanting to build up my back, build up my shoulders more, build up my chest. I'm telling you, body weight exercises look super simple. It's easy to do them once. It is not easy to do them for 2 or 3 minutes at a time. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Small break. Woo! Thank goodness. Warming up the core, because I'm going to move down in my legs. Not yet. We're going to start out slow and then speed it up a little bit. Super simple. Up, down, up, down, up, hold, down, hold, up, hold, down, hold, hold, down, hold. Woo! So same motion, just a little faster. So even though we're doing this at a faster rate because we're not doing it for super long periods of time, you become overly intense, then bring it back down, the intensity. Simple. And then when you're ready, So that lower belly area, these exercises are going to be your best friend. Woo! We'll cool down. Woo! The core is very heavily engaged because my legs are getting very tired. But again, tired, not injured. That's the difference. Safety. I can't afford getting hurt anymore, bouncing around like a ballerina. Whew. So, if you've been following along, let me know how you're feeling. If you've been watching, which I don't recommend because it is incredibly misleading visually, I encourage you to get up and actually kind of try it. At least 60 seconds. Give it 1 minute. 60 seconds. Then be like, oh, okay. Now I get it. And then, of course, my favorite reaction. This hits differently. That it does. It definitely hits differently. Sets and reps never worked for me because once again I got to a certain extent, I lost count, I got frustrated, and I quit because I couldn't keep count. That's the occipital part of the brain, and that one shuts down apparently with me when it comes to high intensity activity. That's how I know I'm like fight, flight, or freeze mode. I can't count numbers. Upper body, yes. So these are, oh, that was a good pop. These are very common stretches. It is very important to do stretching, even super light stretching at the beginning, kind of during, and at the end. Because as you build these muscles and you burn that fat, you want to readjust the body. And of course, that also helps us with our balance. So, in strength, you can't keep your knee up if you don't have the flexibility to get your leg up. My back of the hamstrings, those are my worst. So this is one of my favorite ones for that area. I don't like redundancy in fitness. Let's see. Same, right? Oh my gosh. Whew. This is also a great time to, I meditate during this because it is the most painful. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Stretching hurts. But it's so beneficial. So, just like they tell us when we go into labor, just breathe through it. Are you nuts? Really? There's no breathing through that kind of pain. No. So I'm just stretching my body where I feel that I need it the most. Which is usually always my legs. Yes, don't let this visually fool you. I'm getting feedback from my current clients, and one lady, I had asked her, I said, what did you think? You're a very educated woman. Your experience is very extensive. Have you ever worked out in this way? And I said, what do you think? Pretty much. She goes, no, I haven't. She goes, and she's like, yes and no. And she goes, for the reason that she was 20 years ago, she goes, I don't think I would have found this exciting. She goes, I thought, she goes, but at my age and my condition, she goes, I can't risk injury. I can't risk getting hurt while I'm trying to build up my body because the body doesn't heal the same as you grow up and get older. And I found that out at 35. 2 days after my 35th birthday, I had my first major medical complication that required emergency surgery. So that told me, and then the recovery was awful because I was not, my body was just not built up for it. So I'm like, okay. And that's, again, turned right back to Polykinetics. And here we are today. Woo! So don't let it, confuse you when you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, this looks like it doesn't do anything. So all of the movements are kind of condensed like soup. So your efforts are very focused and intentional without the big use of big body movements for cardiorespiratory. We don't have to do all of that. Ooh, comment. I feel so much better after a good stretch, right? Yes. And it doesn't even have to be like super extensive. And don't get me wrong, I see the people on TV that stretch and that can put their head over their leg over their head. And that is a goal one day, maybe. But one step at a time, right. We'll get into that. And funny enough, even though all my workouts are from a standing position, some of my favorite stretches are actually done sitting down. Because it's a solid place, there's no slipping or, it's just kind of a stability thing. So definitely I would recommend, or from even a sitting position, there's some good ones. Like when you sit down in a chair, do the 4-way, push your knee down. And that gets you right here, which is kind of nice. I learned that from another one of the trainers at the gym that I work at. Because as trainers, we collaborate our styles a lot. So, woo! Let's see. 8:28, I am going to cut this one a little bit short. And I've got some ideas on some new video posts coming up. So hopefully I'll be able to start resuming video posts. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, feel free, put them down here at the bottom. We have one. How do you go about putting your playlist together for each workout? That is very, a kind of a cathartic process, if you will. So I never go into a workout feeling like, woohoo! Let's do this, everybody. I go into a workout like I've got some serious crap on my mind that I don't want to hold around. So I need a very physical outlet to do that. So funny enough, that's where I start. That's why the first song on this workout was Cracks. That was one of the first songs that I started doing when I started doing Polykinetics, was that song. It was very poignant to me in the lyrics. And of course the song just sounds very heavy. So it made me feel emotionally validated. And I didn't have to tell anybody why I was feeling that way. I didn't have to divulge in details, which actually made me feel validated. And then I felt so accomplished after making it through the entire sequence, huffing and puffing, body's on fire. And I'm like, but damn, I did it. I got through the song. Yeah. So I actually repurposed that painful memory into an accomplishment. And that became a very therapeutic thing. So that's where it starts, is how am I emotionally feeling? I don't want to jump around to very hyper high energy songs if I'm not feeling that way. I throw them into the mix in hopes that I'll get that way, hence the song Hand Clap. It's a very uppity high energy song, but that's not the way the sequences and the workout started from the bottom, and I build my way up each and every time. So that is all depends on how I feel emotionally. Music is very emotionally driven, and it's tied directly to our memories. So watch out for those little songs that creep up and start popping memories out that you weren't expecting. That has happened to me a few different times. But sometimes I'll do that on purpose. I'll pick songs that remind me of that ex-boyfriend who dumped me, and that was his favorite song when we were dating. So I'm like, here we go. And I'll either do something pretty painful like calf raises or squats or something particularly challenging. I need my physical to match the intensity of the emotional if this little process is going to work. So I have to put forth as much effort physically as that emotional intensity is pressing back on me mentally. I hit that with equal force, and I just do it in a very simple way. So that is a great question. Thank you so much. Keep in mind when you are making your playlist, when you are doing these sequences, even with singular movements, the duration of the song and the speed. So you can do slow movements to a fast song. Sure. You can do, faster movements to a slow song. But watch out for that duration. That duration is what will trip you up every time. So start with, if you're just starting like 2-3 minute songs, I would say definitely keep it under 3 minutes. And then just build up your duration of time over time. Start doing longer and longer songs. Remember how the vinyls, the 12-inch vinyls they're like 22-minute songs? Oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine. So if you want to try that out, give it a shot. Let me know how you do. And document the process, because I would love to know that for research purposes. The longest I've ever done Polykinetics at a single song was about 7 minutes and 24 seconds. Busy Child by Chemical Method. Busy Child. There's quite a few songs in my playlist that are 6 minutes long, 5 minutes long. The longer you go, the harder it gets. But it's real exciting when you start building up to those 4 or 5 minute songs, 6 minute songs, knowing started at 11 seconds to go to 5 or 6 minute songs is very exciting. And the progress, as long as you do it, it'll work every single time. You'll get stronger every single time you do it. If you don't do it, nothing's going to happen. So don't know what to say to those people who are like, but I have this excuse. All right, let me know your excuses. Email them to me at polykinetics@gmail.com. Go to my website, polykfit.com. Let me know what those excuses are, and I'll show you how this can trump that. No problem. I blogged about it in the very beginning on my WordPress blog. I went by one and every single one of those excuses. I said, this is how it does it, and this is why it works, and blah, blah, blah. So I did that blog post series way back in 2014 or 2015. Feel free to check those out on WordPress at Polykinetics. They're there. But yeah, so good things. I built this. Oh, you're so welcome. I built this due to my lack of ability to do anything else. And there was no other program out there to support what I was doing. So I had to create one. And unfortunately, well, ironically, that started with a very unique technique. So I found out through this type of technique, I was able to magnify my results and not increase the risk of safety. So even those that I'm seeing out there that are doing like these, yeah, you can. But again, the more movements you do, the more wear and tear on your joints. So I like to keep mine very intentional, very focused, very concentrated. I don't like to do redundant movements for no reason. One small pull, tug, or twist that I'm not used to, my body's not accustomed to, and that's it, game over for me. I could get injured and that's it. I lose my livelihood. So, can't be going down that route. Too many broken bones in my past to be playing with broken bones today. Or even bruised muscles. They don't even heal the same after 35, I swear. Woo! This is why diet's very important. Yes, Polykinetics I did invent. I invented it in my kitchen in January 2014 after the fall of my marriage. I was now facing my biggest fear, single mommyhood, and I was also doing it 120-ish pounds overweight, pack-a-day cigarette smoker, bad back from the pregnancy, got the pendulous abdomen thing going on. Mentally, I'm a wreck. 2017 was the last time I was hospitalized for my mental conditions, and I have been in remission ever since. Yay. And I used Polykinetics to get me out of it. No, Polykinetics is not a cure for mental illness or anything of that sort. It can be a very viable treatment. There's many studies and books written on it, on cardiovascular activity and mental health and how it can improve you neurobiologically. So I needed something at that time to do physical and mental health in fitness did not exist in 2014. It was, nope. There was mental health first aid that was out, but that was a educational, verbal, here's some worksheets kind of thing. It wasn't a physical fitness method. So I was like, yeah, and then a ugly green book published in 1987, Exercise and Mental Health, changed my life. And I was like, here we go. But I can't do anything. So how in the hell do I do cardiovascular exercise? Because I'm thinking Jane Fonda and going a million. I'm like, I can't do that. No way. I'll die trying. But then I realized this very unique tempo, rhythm, technique, if you will. And like, this is just as flippin' hard as doing this for 5 minutes at a time, if not more challenging. And then I started coming up with kinetic sequences, is what I call them. And that's these movements put to a tempo beat, set to a duration of time. There we go. Very simple. I didn't want anything that was going to complicate my brain any more than it was already fried from the depression and the anxiety and the OCD and the ADHD and everything else they diagnosed me with back in 2005. So I needed simplicity more than anything. And so this was the simplest I could get the process without really giving up any of the results. And in fact, the results were way better than I thought they would be. I was like, I'm going to lose a little weight, a little 5-6 pounds. Okay. No. My ex-husband came back 3 weeks later after he left the home, came back to get the rest of his stuff and didn't recognize me. He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to show you. And I grabbed him and I put the song on. I was like, okay, go do this. And I think we did leg lifts. And then I showed him, of course, the VCC, the vertical core crunch. And I was like, I know this is stupid. I know this is dumb. I know this looks weird and it feels weird. I said, but tell me what it feels like to you. Because he's a muscular guy. He's very lean and very fit. And he goes, oh yeah, he goes, I feel it right here. I'm like, yes. And then he started doing other ones. We started doing different tempos to him. And he was my gerbil at first because, again, he's got muscles and I wasn't. And I was like, oh, okay, this goes both ways. This will help people who are physically fit and people who are very much not. Me. So that's how it started. So all of my social media platforms, they all started about 2014, 2015. 2015 is when it finally got on YouTube. I went to a Tony Robbins seminar. Tony Robbins sent me tickets to his Chicago seminar. Finally got to it. And I finally built up enough courage to start putting video blogs on YouTube, and it was very difficult. So I'm like, no one's going to believe me. They're like, I'm going to hit every roadblock in the path. So, and I have, but that's okay, because I know what this does, and I know that what this can do for others who are in positions where, you know, can't get to the gym. Okay, that's all right. There's a way for you. There's lots of ways for you. So you're not excluded from the process, even though you very much want to get fit, and your reasons are very valid. I'm just telling you, there's a way out there. There's a way for you to get fit if you really, really want to. And you are facing legit barriers, like I did. All of my barriers, super legit. None of them were excuse to not get fit. I built this around no more excuses type of thing. So there we go. Oh, thank you so much. And your encouragement is so motivating. Your encouragement, your support, your messages, the likes coming in on my lives, just to wrap things up for a couple of minutes, and then maybe I'll do one more sequence just to finish this off. But thank you guys so very, very much, because I've gone from covering my face doing videos maybe like once a week, once a month, to doing lives and having the confidence to do that, and having the security of knowing, hey, this is actually helping people out there. So now it's no longer about me. I have to show up because you guys are showing up, and we show up together, damn it. Yes, high five. So, on that note, I love this song. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Told you, best friends. I love this exercise so much. I just jumped back in. Did this help with weight loss? This is exactly how I lost everything, including that pendulous abdomen. This is what's left of it. So I had a C-section with my daughter. I also had gallbladder surgery, so my abdomen has taken a lot of assault. And I do have skin, of course, that comes with the territory of losing weight this way. But the weight of that abdomen is off, and I can feel a huge difference. But again, in my quest to lose weight, look great, can't get injured. So this was built on not only simplicity, but safety. It's super effective. So the move does not change, my direction in that move changes. Super simple. Not easy, but simple. Woo. So this method was very much made for bigger people, because I was a bigger person when I created it. For a year, I had to hold on to things. I couldn't do a single leg lift or really anything else without holding on to something, because my balance was so bad. Ankles were bad, knees were bad. That's why I love this exercise. Right? These are great. Oh my gosh, these are so great. And then this is what I started. I started from one move, and that morphed into another, Staying on that beat. You must stay on that beat. A lot more people have difficulty with rhythmic coordination than they like to admit. No big deal. Woo! Mine is balance. Woo! Losing weight, it's almost like kind of learning how to walk again. I'm used to bumping into things constantly. I'm used to being very easily out of breath, doing the smallest, simplest things. And it's a reminder how difficult before was. Like, I knew it was difficult. I could feel the difficulty, but to the degree of which it was, I didn't realize until it started getting better. Don't have to wait till Monday. Don't even have to wait till tomorrow. You can start right now. Right now. Woo. Telling you, after one sequence, you're going to be like, oh my God, are you serious? Let me try this with another song. Let me try this with another one. Let me try this with another one. You get addicted to it. I get super addicted to it, not because I love exercise, because I love music. I'm like, ooh, let's try this exercise with this song. Woo! Woo! I love how this decongests my chest. There we go. Woohoo! So, yeah, and I didn't realize how fun this could actually be. So, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's kind of entertaining in the sense, because it's so simple, then it triggers to your brain, like, why is this becoming challenging? Why is this becoming harder and harder? It should become easier and easier. Now, from one day to the next, it becomes easier and easier. But from one sequence to another, at first, it's going to be very challenging, and it's going to test you. Your cardio, your toning, strengthening, everything. So, woohoo! How long do I do workouts for? As long as I can. I start at least 30 minutes. That's my benchmark. 30 minutes every day in some way. But even now, 30 minutes, I'll break up to 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here, one song here, one song there. And then I just keep a list of the different exercises I've done. Simple. Go back, see the time, write it down. What did I struggle with? Did I get through the whole thing? Was it challenging? Was it not challenging? Blah, 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 blah. So, and then that curates my process. And that's how I do this. The hard part is when you, don't want to do it. Those are the hard ones. And one reason why people hire me as an instructor, we push them through those days because they don't want to do it, but they know I'm obsessed about this and I will do it. So I will be showing up to sessions and they better be too. So if they just need that little bit of accountability, a little bit of a in their backside, hire me as an instructor. But usually 30 minutes, every single one of my sessions with others also starts at 30 minutes. And then based on advancement and, and goals, then it can increase to 45 minutes, to 60 minutes. I don't like to go over an hour just to prevent overtraining because this is so simple. It's very easy to overtrain. You look at this and you're like, oh, shit, I could do this all day, every day. Did it, and couldn't walk the next day. So do little bits of it time. And again, this is going to hit everybody just a little bit different because it works the body differently. Even though you're using moves and music, we know. That's the beauty of it. So yeah, have some fun with it. But keep it simple. Keep it simple. Oh, you're so welcome. And thank you for your comments and questions and concerns. You're not the only person thinking them. There's just so much information in Polykinetics. I never know where to take these little TED Talks moments. It's like, I want to tell everybody everything all at once. It's the greatest thing on earth. But knowing this now and getting older, and it actually makes me far more excited about getting older. Because I'm like, okay, now I don't have to worry about doing CrossFit or boot camp at 50 plus years old. I can do Polykinetics for life. Right. So good stuff indeed. Let me know what you guys think. Your feedback is absolutely critical to the growth of Polykinetics and how I curate these live sessions. So if there's something specifically, let me know. Hit me up on my website, polykfit.com, YouTube channel, Polykinetics. I believe you can send messages through that, right? Polykinetics@gmail.com. You can Google me. My name is Michelle Vargas. I'm from St. Louis. So Michelle Vargas, St. Louis. Feel free. Lots of stuff there. And I will be back again tomorrow with another workout. Thank you again. Love you all. Keep moving. Bye.